According to the book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, the number one sorrow people have at the end of their lives is this: I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. As a trader, that line hits me hard, and it reminds me of the lesson in the parable of the talents, given by a teacher who understood human nature better than anyone who has ever walked this planet. The lesson: don't bury what's inside of you. In this story from the Gospel of Matthew, a master leaves on a journey and entrusts his wealth, his talents, to 3 servants, each receiving a different amount according to what they could handle. The first servant receives 5 talents, the second servant receives 2 talents, and the third servant receives just 1 talent. Now, the first 2 servants, they go out, trying to multiply what they had been given. They take risks, they make mistakes, but eventually they are able to grow their pile. The third servant, however, he does nothing. In fact, he does something. He digs a hole and buries the talents. Risk-free strategy, 0 drawdown, financially responsible, and emotionally comfortable, but also 0 upside, and spiritually unemployed, because when the master returns, he praises the first 2 of the servants. But the third one, he gets called out. Basically the ancient world version of your mentor telling you you knew what to do, but you still didn't take the trade. So what's the lesson? How do we actually apply this in our lives and in our trading? I quote Matthew chapter 25, verse 29. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. Now, obviously, this isn't talking about money. This is talking about faith. Skills grow when we use them. Confidence grows when we're tested. Clarity grows when exercised. What is really evaluated here is not results, it's input. And isn't that exactly how we grow as a person and as a trader? Not by judging whether we ended up green or red on the day, but by judging whether we were faithful to our skills, to our edge, and to our plan. Nowhere is that more clear than when preparation meets the live market, right? You find a strategy, you develop a strategy, you gather your data, you backtest it, you forward test it. You now know what your ideal entries look like, what your ideal exits look like. On paper, you could manage a hedge fund. Yay! But then the setup appears in the live market, and you lack that real-time discretion and that real-time execution. Suddenly your mouse weighs 40 kilos, you wait for one more confirmation, one more candle, because all those people who didn't believe in you, you have to prove them wrong. For that to happen, you cannot lose. You wait for the market to personally guarantee your feelings, and the market moves without you. Amazing how the clear setups only become so clear, so obvious after they are gone. And I'm going through this myself at the moment. For the 4th time in a row now, I passed an evaluation account up until the point that I need one more winning trade to secure that first ever payout. 5 clean trades in a row to get there. And then I get consumed. Analysis paralysis. My discretion turns from positive to negative. I let one A+ setup pass by. I let a second A+ setup pass by, a third. And eventually I end up taking a B setup, putting myself back for days and weeks. That right there is burying your edge as a trader. You've made it valid in your data. You've seen it in the setups you ignored. You felt it in the trades you hesitated on. The question isn't if you can follow your plan, it's whether and when you will follow your plan. Because hesitation does not only stem from fear of losing money on one side or lack of data on the other side. It's also fear of not being who people thought you would be. Just like the servant, I buried my opportunities many times before, motivated by imposter syndrome stemming from overvaluing the opinions of other people. So yeah, I know what it costs. See, the number one takeaway from the story is this: go after what you know you've been given. But that is only the first step. Because going after opportunities means very little if you are still chained to what you know you should not be chasing. So in the next video in this series, we'll be going over a saying from Socrates. on why it is just as important to leave things behind and aside you as it is to going after what's in front of you. If you want to see that, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.